Hello dear students, today is 20th October 2020 and today I am dealing with optimum theory of population, which is the last theory of this unit. Earlier I told you about the Malthusian theory, neo-Malthusian theory and demographic transition theory. And today is the solution of all those theories, which we may indicate as an optimum theory of population. And when we introduce this, we may say the conceptual background of this theory is that optimum population refers to the size of population that produces the best results according to chosen targets. And when we talk about one text from 1926, we can say that the largest per capita income of consumers goods possible under the given condition. So this you can take in mind. Then what do you mean by optimum population? That is the largest per capita income of consumers goods possible under the given condition. This is the criteria of optimum population. And other potential end targets in favor of lower levels of populations are cited to include long-term sustainability, efficient operation of democracy. You can deal with the Indian circumstances, the preservation of personal freedom and the preservation of biodiversity, while potential end targets in favor of higher level of populations are cited to include the abilities to preserve the foster cultural diversity, to stimulate intellectual, artistic and technological creativity and to facilitate social infrastructure. So you have to think over this while stating the optimum population theory. And this theory is developed by many economists. Earlier it was in the name of Dalton, Robinson, West and Cannon, but Professor Sidgwick was the first one who have hints on optimum population theory in his reputed book Principle of Political Economy. But however, the book World Population by Carl Sanders popularized the concept of optimum population. So these two things you have to remember, all the names who have dealt with this theory. And when we explain this, again I am saying that the optimum population theory claims that the population growth is beneficial if it pulls the economy towards optimum. Okay? And the three basic things is there. One is underpopulation, one is overpopulation, and third is optimum population. Because we have to deal with this underpopulation, we should also know about the over and underpopulation. What is underpopulation? Anything below the optimum population of desirable size of population. And what is overpopulation? Anything above the optimum population or desirable size of population. And that means optimum population is the most desirable size of population. So this is also solution for country like India. And now we can explain by this figure. Dear students, in y-axis you can see I am dealing with population impact, that is benefit and problems. And x-axis denotes the population growth over time. You can see the this graph, how population is increasing, and till this point of maximum, which is called as over optimum population, this left side is a underpopulation, and after this point when population is still in a growing mode, then this is called an overpopulation, because after this point there will be problem, till this point there will be benefit. So this is first diagram which we have to denote, and then you have to explain this diagram into this by this. The same diagram, but you have to say that what is underpopulation, that increases in the population below allow more effective exploitation of resources available, that is food, energy, land, etc., and lead to higher income per capita. And then what is overpopulation? Increases in the population level past the optimum point results in lower standard of living, resources are shared among more people, and the economic standard per capita declines. So you have to choose between underpopulation and overpopulation, that is called as optimum population, which is the highest point of this graph. And this means the population level at which the highest economic standard of living is achieved, the available resources are exploited effectively. So dear students, this is a very beautiful theory which you can explain in the coming year, and you can correlate this theory with Indian circumstances. In India, we all know this is a COVID era. All the resources are distributed in the poor classes. Till November, 80 crore people are benefited with free food schemes. So that means India is a overpopulated country because the result is the standard of living is very low. So we have to move from overpopulation to optimum population. Okay, and again when you draw this figure to show the optimum population, the example is y-axis is a per capita income, x-axis is a population. You can see that 300 population is the optimum population because here the per capita income is 700. Okay, so moving from A to P, this point is the optimum population, and we can survive at the level of 300 population. And then again, when we denote this through this diagram, you can see that PA to M point, and then M to C point, and from P to P1 graph, this can show the underpopulation, overpopulation, and maximum population, that is optimum population of the theory. So these three graphs denote the theory of population, but there are certain assumptions of this theory. What are those assumptions? And these assumptions may be also the criticism of the theory. The theory assumes that even though the population increases, the percentage of working population to total population remains constant. With this assumption, the theory exists. And second, there is no change in natural resources, capital and technology. In other words, an increase in population does not alter the available natural resources, capital and technology. So under this assumption, the population optimum theory exists. But this is also the criticism of this theory, which denotes that we may move further from this theory also. Okay, so the question is, can optimum size of population changes? Then you must say yes. That means optimum point of that population is not static, but that is a dynamic. With this diagram, you can show that earlier I told about only one graph from A to P, and then with coming time, with increase in the production, with better agriculture production, with better innovation, with better technology, with better standard of living, with better job opportunities, we can move from E to E1, and again from E1 to E2. So E1 and E2 is a growth story. When we are moving to the growth path, the population may increase from N1 to N2, and this is not overpopulation, but this is an optimum population stage. So dear students, you can say that optimum theory is not static, but this is dynamic, because with the given resources, that is, we are not thinking as a constant. We have to increase our resources, we have to skill our development, we have to invent our new technologies, we have to go for good and modern agriculture system. Then from E we have to move to E1 and E2, and this E1 and E2 is a growth story. And then we can say that optimum point can move from E to E1 and E1 to E2. So this is a dynamic stage. यानी आपको अगर हम स्पष्ट रूप से समझाएं तो जनसंख्या की वृद्धि तभी मानी जाएगी जब जनसंख्या बढ़े और रिसोर्सेज स्थिर रहे, रोजगार में कमी रहे। ऐसी स्थिति को हम जनसंख्या का विस्फोट की स्थिति कह सकते हैं। लेकिन अगर जनसंख्या में वृद्धि हो और उसके साथ साथ हम विकास भी करते जाएं, इनोवेशंस भी करते जाएं, उन्नत कृषि भी करते जाएं, लैंड के रिफॉर्म भी करते जाएं, स्किल डेवलपमेंट भी करते जाएं और लोगों को रोजगार भी देते जाएं, तो बढ़ी हुई जनसंख्या को हम विकास से तालमेल बिठा सकते हैं और ऐसे जनसंख्या को हम ऑप्टिमम के बदलते स्वरूप में दिखा सकते हैं। So this is how you have to explain the optimum theory of population, and the formula to calculate this population is M is equal to A minus O divided by O, and here M is a degree of maladjustment, where A is the actual population when I have told you earlier in the diagram, and O is the optimum population. That means if M is greater than O, it is a case of overpopulation. You can recall that diagram. And if M is less than O, it is a case of underpopulation. Again, you recall the diagram. And what is the desirable condition? If M is equal to O, that is the population is in optimum level. So this is how you have to explain this theory, and like this you can write the formula M is equal to A minus O divided by O, where M is a maladjustment, A is the actual population, and O is the optimum population. So dear students, this theory can be correlated with the earlier theory given by the Malthus. We have in each and every country there is a carrying capacity, and we overshoot with this carrying capacity, the problem begins, and then the optimum population theory works. So we have to correlate with this theory in the term of Malthus theory and with the story of growth theory, and thus you can say that beyond this, when we are here to criticize this theory, the criticism is under this four part. The very first criticism is that it is difficult to determine the optimum size of population for a country. Though we are able to find the optimum population size, it is difficult to maintain the population size at the optimum level in the long run. Other words, the theory fails to explain how to stabilize the employment level, income, output of the country, and that optimum level. So this is criticism of the theory, and which I earlier told you, we move to the development theory and dynamism of the optimum theory. And second is the assumption that the percentage of working population to the total population remains constant cannot be correct in reality. And the theory is concerned only about the wealth of nation. It does not explain how the wealth is distributed. And the theory fails to explain the quality of labor force. So these all are the criticism of this theory under which you can deal with this topic, dear students. And then I am completing the second unit of your syllabus, and you have to prepare Malthus theory, neo-Malthus theory, demographic transition theory, and lastly optimum theory of population. And then through this you can prepare three basic theories of this population theory, which is very important for the purpose of examination and the purpose of discussion. Thank you. Take care.